Hello, welcome to the Get Strong and Healthy podcast. My name is Anna Clow. Thank you for being here. So excited to be back on the podcast. I took this summer off from recording and posting on here as it's been quite insane in terms of strong and healthy work, strong and healthy growth. We have been making some big moves this summer. We have hired 2 more people onto the team, so we are now a team of 4, also serving more clients at the, highest level. So that has always been first priority. So we're kind of, having those kind of growth pains with figuring out, who we need to hire to help us out so that we can serve our clients at the highest quality and also be able to get out this very high quality, valuable, free content. So we are back on the podcast, and I'm stoked to be able to serve you guys in this way. And let's chat. So today we're going to be talking about busy seasons of life or stressful seasons of life and how you can navigate those without totally letting go of your goals of improving your health, improving your fitness, or overall just putting that effort and attention into yourself. This is something I see often, especially with women, moms, anyone who's, caregiver, kind of like that, selfless type, person who's known as very giving and they just want to, help everyone around them. That can start to become their identity. And then what happens is they'll put themselves on the back burner, let go of putting that attention, effort, intention on themselves, and then end up neglecting themselves. And on the outside, this can be seen as, oh, so kind, so selfless. But what's really happening when we take care of others in neglecting, and we're at the same time neglecting ourselves, that is going to lead to resentment, and our quality of life is going to go down. Our happiness, our fulfillment, how we feel is all going to get worse. And therefore, that is going to affect how we can show up for everything and everyone around us. So, this episode is your reminder to put your oxygen mask on first. You have to take care of yourself in order to be the best version of you, to be able to show up for your priorities around you. So, if you've been letting go of yourself as a priority, this is your sign to refocus on yourself. And when you can do that, when you can show up for yourself, that impacts everything around you in a positive way. You are important. You are worthy of that time and effort putting into yourself. And we're going to dive into some ways that you can put this effort into yourself without making it mean a ton of extra time on your schedule. Because this is a big hurdle for many people, myself including, with all of the things we have going on. We've got businesses to run or careers to, attend to, or a household of, kids and, cleaning to take care of, and just all the things, right? Our kids' commitments, all these things really like add up on one another. And before you know it, you've totally forgotten about you. So let's talk about this from a health and fitness perspective, how you can prioritize self-care without it meaning a bunch of extra time on your plate, right? Because we typically can't, change these commitments. It's hard to sometimes, outsource all these things or, free up time on our schedule. And so I don't want to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about how you can make things work in the busy season and prioritize yourself through that. So we'll start with working out. What I see a good bit, and I've done this myself, is we have it in our heads. Oh, I need to work out 4 times a week for an hour. And this is something that we can get stuck in our heads. We can form a belief around how much we need to work out, or it's what we might have always done, or that's just what we think is optimal. But I'm here to tell you it is okay to modify your exercise routine to better fit your life in a busy season. I'd rather you do that than keep saying, oh, I don't have time. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, I don't have time. And then nothing happens. So maybe instead of working out for an hour, could you get an amazing session done in 30 minutes? Could you take your 4 days a week to 3 days a week or even 2 days a week? I have clients working with me. They come train once a week or twice a week, getting amazing results. The reason for this is the quality of our training is what matters. The other factors of our lifestyle is what matters when it comes to transformation. We don't have to be in the gym for a long time. We don't have to work out, 5 days a week. We can figure out a way to prioritize movement and exercise, even with a really busy schedule. I have a client who trains with me twice a week. She's an incredibly busy mom, working 3 high-level, tech jobs and has 3 kids, and I don't know how she does it all, but she carves out that time for her. And we've been seeing amazing results over the past maybe 9, maybe 8 months working together. She's made some incredible muscle and strength gains. She's feeling leaner. She's looking leaner. She's seeing muscles popping. She's feeling toned. And just recently, we are working to incorporate more focus on her nutrition. She has goals to lose a couple more pounds. And so we've decided to get a little bit more specific with her approach to nutrition. And we're beginning to have her tracking. So tracking her food has been a little bit of a learning curve, which it typically is for most all clients. But once you can figure it out, it takes probably 2 minutes maximum out of your day. This is something I remind myself when I feel that resistance to tracking, and I'm sharing this with clients all the time. Hey, remember, this is 2 minutes out of your day. Putting that effort and attention into tracking your food, that is going to help a ton with your awareness. And once we can get, consistent with hitting our macro goals there, that is when we're going to drive the changes that we're looking to see when it comes to body composition goals. So there's one thing that really doesn't take more time per se is tracking, right? 2 minutes is, negligible. And making healthier choices doesn't take more time out of your day. Sometimes people can have the belief that, oh, I need to plan out all my meals and I need to spend 5 hours on Sunday meal prepping. And, I have to cook every day on top of that. And it's just too much. So, you know, then they revert back to old behaviors of ordering out all the time, not putting any sort of, attention into changing their choices. But in reality, it does not have to take much more time to choose healthier options. Personally, lately I've been ordering meal prep. I love ordering meal prep meals as, I find ones that align with my desired macros that help me hit my macros. And then that makes my cook time and my prep time and my shopping time 0. So that is working really well for me as, a business owner who is extremely busy, that helps me a ton. And with, a busy mom who, maybe doesn't want to allocate, extra investment into meal prep meals, taking, the time to maybe order groceries online real quick to go for pickup and then, making meals that are maybe a little bit quicker probably equals the time that it would take to make other things. It's really about the choice. It's about the intention that you have to making choices that better align with what you want for yourself. Do you want to feel good? Do you want to nourish your body and your family's bodies? Okay, let's see how we can slightly, adjust, change, or add things into our diets to help do exactly that. So if time is something that holds you back when it comes to making change, see how you can challenge that belief and see how you can make it not take that much time, that much more time, or any more time at all. See how you can get creative, right? Finding the solution here rather than finding the reason that you can't. I talk about this all the time, but when we are so focused on finding the reasons why it can't or won't work, that's all that's going to become our reality. If we focus on the ways that we can make something happen, that we can figure it out, that is what we will make happen. So, same thing with water. Doesn't take more time out of your day. Maybe you need to set yourself some reminders to help you get that in. When it comes to something like movement, getting in more steps, oftentimes we can have this idea in our head like, oh, I need to get my 30-minute morning walk. And then if we don't get it, it's like, oh, my steps are screwed for the day. It's just not going to work. But what if instead of, being so all or nothing with that, we could look at that and say, okay, I couldn't get this in this morning. How can I sneak some in at my lunch break? Maybe I'm going to stop by the grocery store later. I'm going to park farther away. Maybe I take the stairs everywhere instead of the elevator. Maybe I ask one of my family members to go on a evening walk with me, right? Instead of catching up on the couch, we catch up over a stroll. Those are the simple decisions that add up to make a difference. We can so undervalue the impact that small decisions will do for us, the small changes will do for us. But really, that is what a healthy lifestyle is. It's choosing different. It's slight adjustments to your current routine and doing these things compounded over time. So, action step for you today is pick one thing that you want to work on that's most important to you. What is your number one thing that you know is your next step, your next challenge, your next thing to get better at? Is that exercise? Is that nutrition? Is that moving? Is that water? Is that stress management? What is that for you? Pick that thing and pick a small goal with that. Pick a realistic goal, something that you want to shift there. What often goes wrong for people here is they set a goal that is way, way too big. It's flipping their life 180. And then maybe they do it for a little bit, but then they fall off inevitably, crash and burn, and then they feel discouraged. And the cycle repeats itself of the yo-yo cycle of getting healthy and then not, or falling, off the wagon or whatever. And so make sure that the strategy you're taking is also the right one, especially when it comes to nutrition. There are so many gimmicks out there. There's so much misinformation that's going to make it near impossible to actually be consistent, right? If you're eating way too little or, you're eating things that it's restrictive, you're eating things you don't like, that's not going to be sustainable. You're going to fall off, right? Okay. So that aside, assuming that you have the right strategy, with the right strategy, see one thing that you want to shift first and focus on that this week. Let's focus on that and see what you can put into place to help you make that happen. Okay? This is the work that I do with my clients is the behavior change work, which I know doesn't sound sexy, and other fitness professionals out there will, sell you the, "Hey, let's transform your body in 30 days and we're going to do this overnight and you're going to, snap your fingers and get these results." I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's not how it works. And over here, we do things in a way where we're going to get you real results that you can maintain for the long term. And we do this through behavior change work. Okay. We are not the kind of coaches over here to be like, "Hey, just do better." No, actually, there's a lot that goes into human psychology and the motivations that we have for doing different things and the change process. And so those are things that over here inside of Strong and Healthy, we educate on. That's our principles that we coach with. So remember that doing things in a more step-by-step fashion is typically going to be the way to go for most people. Okay? That is all I have for you today. Would love to hear if this resonated with you, if this was helpful. Definitely reach out to me on Instagram and we can continue the conversation. If you have any feedback, if you want to share something that really resonated with you, I'd love to hear. DM me. My Instagram handle is Anna Clough. So that's ANNACLOUGH. And we will talk more very soon. I will see you guys on the podcast next week. And I hope that you have a really good week.